Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. I apologize for the lack of uploads last week. Basically, I touched something, I think something with patina, and then my hand started swelling up, my skin started peeling, it was really bad, it was itching, so that meant that not only could I not record a video, it meant that I could also not really edit comfortably, and I needed to use my hand for work. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't want to aggravate the situation anymore. So, well, warning slash disclaimer. If you are someone who is grossed out by dried skin or peeling skin, then please, I suggest that you do not watch this video. That's also the reason why I'm not wearing any rings, because I just want to make sure that my hands are okay. My skin is kind of like healing right now. You could see a little bit of that, so you have been warned. If you cannot handle that, then yeah, don't watch this video. Here we go. Just as the video title says, this is a Spydernox Nail Clip 580. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys, I never thought that this would actually come true. I didn't know that this would actually happen. Or, in fact, I should rephrase that and say that I did not know if this was even possible, to have a VICTORINOX Nail Clip 580 modded into the Spydernox style. And before I go any further, I want to show you guys a really cool COA that came with this. Here it is. And it says, COA, congratulations, you are the proud owner of a Noel Kunz custom Swiss Army knife. Your Spydernox Nail Clip 580 was hand-built from authentic Victorinox and Spyderco parts, which was worked to a one-of-a-kind fit. And this is number 3. So yeah, of course, Noel Kunz, I'll put his Instagram link on screen right now, is the one who built this, and you can see the build date is October 11th, 2020. He's got all the specifications here, and he's even signed it. And you guys might notice, but the camel word is cancelled out, and it's replaced with the word red scale switch, and that's because I requested for red scales. Now I need to give you guys a little bit of a backstory as I lay this down on the side. This is my very first custom Spydernox Rambler, and I have to say that I'm not very well versed in the world of custom Victorinox or custom Swiss Army knife makers. So I came across Sean Dooley and I commissioned him to make me this. Initially, I actually asked him if it was possible for him to make a nail clip mod, and he said that this is a different size from what he works with because he specializes only in this particular size. Well, not really only, I mean he's done other builds, but at that point of time, that's what he said. And so I got not one but 2 of these. And then fast forward about a year, maybe 2 years ahead, and then I came across Mini Swiss Knives, aka Tyler Schultz, and basically he does the same Spydernox Ramblers with different materials. And I was like, okay, well, this looks cool, and it was a lot more affordable, I would say. I mean, of course, I'm not saying that Sean Dooley's builds are not of good quality, but they are relatively more expensive than Tyler's builds. But you could see the size difference. Of course, I know that Tyler now offers thinner scales, but I have not purchased any new ones from him yet. So all along, I was always under the impression that, you know, like this is the form factor. Like this is the sweet spot for form factors when it comes to those Spydernox builds. And if you guys are wondering what a Spydernox is, basically it is having a Spyderco blade in a Victorinox Swiss Army knife, just like that. There we go. And if you're wondering why I like a nail clip, well, here is my classic nail clip. And I gotta say that I've been using this quite a lot. You can see that it's very scuffed up right now. There are a few small tools about this that I really like. Of course, I like the tweezers. And with that said, I'm bringing back Mini Swiss Knives builds. And you notice that the G10 build doesn't have a slot to hold your tweezer. But in contrast to that, Sean's builds do have them. It's just only on one side, because for the other side, if you opt for these kind of designs on it, then you won't have the slot for your other whatever toothpick, or you know, it could be the firefly insert. But then for the standard Victorinox style, you actually have 2 slots, one on each side, either a toothpick or a firefly insert, or maybe even the tweezers. But personally, I use the tweezers a lot, like surprisingly a lot. Then it's got a quote-unquote screwdriver and a nail file attachment, as well as a small little knife or a little blade. And on the other side, it's got a pair of scissors, a very small pair of scissors, but it's very convenient to have. That's really good. And most of all, it's got this nail clip attachment right here. So I really love this, and I was thinking, yeah, you know, it'd be really cool if I had something custom in this form factor with the nail clip, with a pair of scissors and a Spydernox blade. But because, you know, I didn't really do my research, or I didn't really delve deep into the custom Victorinox world, I just took Sean's word for it. And instead of thinking like maybe it's just Sean that doesn't do it, I just assumed that it's not going to be possible, until I came across another local EDC head's Instagram account. His name is Mervyn. His Instagram account is Trackinotus. I'll put a link on screen as well. And I saw him having a nail clip Spydernox, and I was like, wait, what in the world? So I PM'd him about it and he said, well, check out Noel Kunz. And so basically through him, I reached out to Noel, and lo and behold, this is here in my hands now. Initially, I reached out to Noel and I said, hey, I want a commission for a Spydernox nail clip build. And then he responded saying that he actually had one more left to go, number 3. The only thing is that the scales were in the camouflage color. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the camouflage colors are nice, but the camouflage color kind of isn't my style, you know? So I responded and I said, hey, you know, I'm just gonna pass on this for now until maybe you have other builds in future, or if you have the time, then I would gladly commission you for another build. And he said, well, I could swap out the scales for you at no extra charge. And I'm like, what? That's crazy. So I said, I want Victorinox red. And so he did it for me. And here it is. He even added this cool little lanyard with a little bead at the back here. That's a very nice touch. So shout outs to Noel Kunz. Man, the guy is quite talented, man. I'm looking at his Instagram account and he's a musician. He has really good handwork in terms of like all these custom mods and stuff. That's quite crazy. He does have random drops every once in a while with really cool different scales for his builds, which is very interesting. And as we delve into this thing, well, it's more like an overview, because there's no way you can go wrong with a build like this, right? And especially because Noel's craftsmanship and workmanship is really good. I paid a total of about $250 US. Now in comparison, this was also about $250 US. And this build here was about, I think, 150 or 125. I can't remember exactly, but let's just say it's 150. So this was 150, this was about 250, and so was this, right? And so I finally got my unicorn. So now these two go out of the way again. And let me just bring back the original nail clip so that we can kind of compare. So you'll notice that the orientation on some of the parts is different right now. Let's just have the nail clip switch in the same orientation so we can compare from there. So here we go. This is slightly different, which makes it very unique, very different from the original build in terms of the way you handle it. Because the key ring or the jump ring attachment is on the opposite side now, right, instead of the same side on the original. And then the logo on the scale is on the opposite end. Of course, this can be just flipped over. If you want, you could just pry the scale off and then glue it back on. But I like in this orientation because, yeah, you see the key ring here with the logo on top is kind of like this. Now looking at it sideways, the Spydernox version isn't that much thicker. You can see there, it's just very slightly thicker. I thought that it was going to be a lot thicker, but I'm pleasantly surprised that it's just very slightly thicker. And of course, I mean, in terms of the length of it, it's going to be the same, right? So some of the orientation is different now, but you could see that originally you have the nail clip on the outside, or on the right side, I should say, and then you have the nail file as well as the blade on the left of it. But on the Spydernox version, you have the nail clip on the extreme left. And well, like I said, this is the orientation that I'm referring to. So I have it on the extreme left, and then on the right of it is the standard Victorinox knife or the blade attachment that you can access with the nail nick right there. And then on the right of that is the Spyderco blade, which, by the way, has a sharpening choil. What the hell? It has a sharpening choil. Like, look, this is Tyler's build, right? Mini Swiss knives. It doesn't have a sharpening choil. And this is Sean Dooley's build. It also doesn't have a sharpening choil. Well, it kind of has a very small one that I wouldn't really consider as a sharpening choil. But Noel's one has a very obvious, deliberately done sharpening choil. So that's quite cool. Now in his video, he said that this is put here so that you could easily access it with one hand. Let me just try it. There we go. We could access it with one hand. So that's the beauty of it by having it out here. And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit sharp and my skin's a bit dry, so I do apologize. But when my skin is feeling fine, when my skin is normal, this is not going to be a problem. Like, it's good that you can access that with just one hand. Next is the fact that this doesn't wobble as much as some of the other builds over there. Now, not to put those down, but yeah, it doesn't wobble as much. And I like the fact that this blade sits in very deep into the scale, so that you don't actually run the risk of that point sticking up and accidentally cutting yourself this way, because I've done that to myself before on another of Sean's builds. So this is really, to me, this is really well done. Next, of course, I have the tweezer attachment, but on the flip side, it's on the opposite orientation, which is quite cool. And then this is my toothpick, but I'm gonna swap it out for a firefly attachment because I don't really use a toothpick. It's kind of gross, I guess, but yeah, a firefly attachment, you know. So now turning it over to the other side, we still have access to the other standard tools, which are a pair of scissors and of course your nail file. So you're not losing any of the tools in the original nail clip 580, and you get the addition of a very cool Spyderco blade. So I think that this build is awesome, man. Like, I'm really surprised. Wanted to tell you guys about Noel Kunz. I think he's doing a damn good job. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but this is the price to pay for something that is really customized. To me, this is like a unicorn. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know it's a lot of backstory and all that, but you know, I'm just really happy that I got this. I guess I dare say that my custom Swiss Army knife collection stops here. Like, this is it. This is the one that I've been looking for. This is the one that I want. I won't be getting any more unless this thing breaks on me. Then I will just reach out to Noel again and say, hey, you know, I need another Spydernox nail clip. But the nail clip, this is it. In one compact package, one small little thing, it's got everything that I want, including this awesome Spyderco blade. I mean, this thing just looks cool, right? Okay, so it's a very aesthetic thing. So now as we come to the end of this video, I am sure that you guys all have a burning question, and that is, Ben, why the heck do you need two small blades on a small Swiss Army knife? I mean, look at this. And then look at this. There's no... like, why do you need these two? And my answer to that is... there's no reason, guys. I just think it's really cool. Oh my god, I never thought I would say that. Like this... I mean, okay, so having two blades... well, in case one goes blunt or one dulls out, I can have another on the go, you know, before I sharpen it or whatever. I could find 1,000 excuses, but really the bottom line is that I just think this is cool. I just think that this is just so cool. Like, honestly speaking, I'm sold on having that Spyderco blade sticking out. Like, look, to me, aesthetically wise, like, this is like style points, you know what I mean? I'm sorry guys, like, I don't have an actual proper functional answer to that question. I just thought it was cool. I've been looking for this, and so now that it's finally available, finally I found a lead to get it, you know, I just had to pull the trigger on that, you know what I mean? And that is it. Like, no other reason, no excuses. That's really it. Now we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking all the way throughout and sharing in this slice of my life. If you like the content that I'm putting out and you want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell to be notified of any new uploads that I put out. Also, I run a Patreon page. I'll put a link up here to that in case you want to go check it out. And if you do become a patron of mine, thank you so much in advance. It would really mean a lot to me. I forgot to give you guys a size comparison of this next to a lighter. So let me just get my lighter. So here we go. This is a big XL lighter, and we have a more standard size lighter. So you could see that in total length, it is smaller than a standard size lighter. In terms of the overall size, it is slightly larger than a Victorinox Classic SD. And this one actually doesn't have any pocket clip. So if you guys are looking for a custom piece with a pocket clip, then maybe you have to talk to Noel. Maybe he might be able to do something about that. Once again, everyone, this is the Noel Kunz Customs Spydernox Nail Clip 580. Very happy with this thing. I'll put links in the description box down below in case you guys want to go hit him up. And once again, another shout out to Mervyn, aka Tracky Notice. Thank you for hooking a brother up. Thank you for the intro. I really appreciate it. And I will catch all of you in the next slice of my life. Until then, everyone, GAGABUCE.